What Juneteenth means to me is change and accomplishment. Um, I feel like in school they only taught us about slavery and all the bad things that happened to us in the past, but Juneteenth I feel like is something that we can be proud of in our history and something that everyone can celebrate with us. And it was the day that change actually happened. And even though change still needs to be happening, I feel like um, that was one of the biggest steps that happened in our history.
How do I feel about Juneteenth? I feel like this is something that we can finally say, I have. We have Juneteenth. It's our holiday. It's something of ours. Even though our lives are being taken in the street, it's something we can look back on and feel accomplished and look back and feel happy, feel proud as one people.
Juneteenth. It's an unofficial American holiday and an official Texas state holiday celebrated annually on June 19th to commemorate Union Army General Gordon Granger's reading of federal orders in the city of Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865, proclaiming all slaves in Texas were now free. Although the Emancipation Proclamation had formally freed them almost 2.5 years earlier, and the Civil War had largely ended, with the defeat of the Confederate States in April, Texas was the most remote of the slave states, with a low presence of Union troops, so enforcement of the proclamation had been slow and inconsistent. A common misconception is that this day marks the end of slavery in the United States. Although this day marks the emancipation of all slaves in the Confederacy, the institution of slavery was still legal and existed in the United Border States after June 19th. Slavery in the United States did not officially end until the ratification of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution on December 6, 1865, which had abolished slavery entirely in all the United States and territories. African Americans have been celebrating Juneteenth in Texas since 1866. At the time, they were unable to celebrate in parks that were mostly marked for use for whites, so they had to find areas near riverbanks and near inlets where they could go to celebrate. They would dress in their best attire because, well, that's what we do. And they would gather together to feast and to make merry and just to celebrate that they were now finally free. Now it's time to make some candied yams, also known as sweet potatoes. All right, so now that we have chopped our sweet potatoes, we are going to cover them with sugar, butter, and a little bit of syrup. All right, so now we've added our white sugar. It's kind of blended in with the brown sugar and our syrup and our butter. We're just going to cover this and put this in the oven at 350 degrees for maybe about 30-45 minutes or so. Just pierce it with a fork to see if it's done. All right, guys, so I've just taken our sweet potatoes out of the oven. I have covered them and sprinkled them with a little bit of cinnamon. You can kind of stir them around if you want to get more of that juice on there. You can also cook them uncovered so that the syrup will thicken nice and tender, beautiful, and sweet. So this is the perfect Juneteenth side dish. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. You cannot have a Juneteenth festival without a side of macaroni and cheese. And let's be clear, when we say macaroni and cheese, we do not mean the stuff that comes in the box, but we mean elbow macaroni that's been boiled to perfection, salted and seasoned. We're talking about cheese upon cheese upon cheese. Just look at the way that she is layering this cheese on this macaroni. And guess what she's going to do with it? She's going to put it in the oven and she's going to bake it until it is nice and crispy, because that's what we do. All right, so now we're going to make our main meal for today's Juneteenth celebration. We are actually going to turn these beautiful looking chicken breasts into some pulled pork style chicken barbecue sandwiches. All right, so first we are going to pre-season our chicken. Please do not put your chicken into your crock pot or your pressure cooker without seasoning this junk. Please do not do that. All right, so we got a little salt, pepper, some onion powder, some paprika, a little bit of garlic powder on our chicken. Please make sure to season both sides, because guess what? You eat both sides of the chicken. All right, decided to add a little bit of Mrs. Dash just for some extra little zing. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put these chicken breasts into our pressure cooker. They should only take us about 20-25 minutes to cook. If you're going to cook it in the slow cooker, you want to put it in there for about 4 hours. All right, so now that our chicken is done, we've gone ahead and we have shredded it up. You can use the 2-fork method, or you can use a hand mixer. Okay, so we've added our barbecue sauce, and now our pulled chicken barbecue is ready to go. We have our finished product, our beautiful pulled chicken barbecue sandwich with a salad and our sweet potatoes on the side. And most important beverage for Juneteenth, we have our strawberry soda. Yummy. All right, so first step, guys, in our Juneteenth dessert, we are making strawberry shortcake. Now, one of the traditional desserts for Juneteenth is a red velvet cake, but I'm really not too fond of red velvet cake. I know, do not judge me. So I'm going to make strawberry shortcake, and actually you can really utilize any dessert that makes use of the color red for the blood of the slaves, red for perseverance. So I have washed and I have hulled and halved these strawberries, and now I'm just going to sprinkle liberally with sugar. If you want to make this a low-calorie dessert, you can also use a low-calorie or no-calorie sweetener. Continuing with our Juneteenth dessert, we have our shortcake mix. Now we're going to take a little bit of a shortcut and use Bisquick. So we have 2 1/3 cup of Bisquick mix, 3 tablespoons of sugar. To that, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of milk and 3 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to mix until we have a dough. And we have our dough. So now we've taken our dough and we have dropped them onto a cookie sheet with parchment paper so that they don't stick. We're going to put these in the oven for about 10 minutes. Alright guys, so once you take your shortcakes out of the oven, you're going to want to slice them in half. Let them cool slightly. You're going to add your strawberries and your cream. And there you are, the perfect Juneteenth dessert. Happy Juneteenth, everybody! Many of you are approaching the end of your high school experience. And as you look on to the future, you'll be making several choices about where to go next. Some of you will enter the workforce. Some of you will head off to serve in our military. And some of you will be choosing to continue your education in a community college or a college or university. If you're deciding on a college or university route, you might want to consider a historically Black college or university. Historically Black colleges and universities were established before the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and they were institutions of higher learning established for educating African American students who weren't allowed to attend what are known as predominantly white institutions, or PWIs. These institutions have a long and illustrious history. Let's hear from a few HBCU alumna.
Hey everyone, my name is Lynette. I am an alumna of the illustrious Winston-Salem State University. Go Rams. One word that I would use to describe WSSU is family. From the moment I walked on campus, I felt as if it was home. Everybody was friendly and it was a very welcoming environment. By attending an HBCU, I was able to gain knowledge about the Black culture, and I had the opportunity to take class that increased this knowledge. I would also say that I was able to be in a space where I didn't feel as if I was a minority, and I was with others that looked like me and went through the same troubles and struggles that I've gone through in my life. And I would say one myth that I had before going or heard of was that they're not diverse. WSSU is a very diverse campus. People come from all over the world to attend. And I would recommend attending an HBCU because it is an environment that is ultimately made for you. It's made for your success.
Hi, I am Brianna, alumni of the illustrious Fayetteville State University, home of the Broncos. If I could describe my school in one word, I would, of course, say family. I didn't get to choose all of them, but I love where I came from, and I'm proud of it. Going to an HBCU, I was able to gain the ability to not only be seen and to be heard, but not to be lost in the sauce. I never felt like any of my classes were too big or my professors were too inaccessible for me to, knock on that door and say, hey, I need a little extra help, or send that email and say, hey, I need a little extra help. So I really do appreciate that, not getting lost in the mix. I was always assured that I was cared for, and not only that I was being informed of the course material, but I was also being educated.
Hi, I'm Sierra, a proud alumna of Hampton University, home of the Pirates. One word to describe my HBCU would be community. Ever since I stepped foot on Hampton University's campus, I felt like I had a strong community surrounding me that was dedicated to seeing me succeed. While at Hampton University, I had the opportunity to grow and develop in a place that was designed specifically for people like me, with also having such a rich history. I believe that HBCUs are for anyone. You don't necessarily have to be Black or a person of color to attend the HBCU. And one common myth that I often hear about HBCUs that is wrong is people often think that they don't provide you the opportunity to prepare for the real world, which is completely false. I've had the opportunity to attend an HBCU and a PWI, and I feel like I gained more preparation for the real world at my HBCU than any other experience that I've had the opportunity to be in. So that's what I would say about HBCUs. Go Pirates!
I love my HBCU. I'm Patrick Ingham here from Fayetteville State University. We are in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we are the FSU Broncos, the real FSU. We're the first HBCU publicly founded in North Carolina. I was able to find my sense of second family, my sense of home, that other comfort place for myself, where I was actually able to make a career out of it as well. I'm an admissions counselor at Fayetteville State. I gained a lot of things from Fayetteville State. One of my favorite things that I've gained was that sense of community. A few common misconceptions about being at an HBCU would definitely be the amount of difficulty. I feel as though I can compete with anyone from any university, to be quite frank with you. I love my HBCU. I want you to love yours. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just 'cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't take it awful hard, just 'cause I laugh. As if I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise, up from a past rooted in pain. I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak miraculously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave, and so I rise, I rise, I rise.
Hello, Hough High Huskies. My name is Amanda Thompson. I am an educator, a parent, and a community activist. And I am here because I want you too to learn how to be civically engaged so you can make sustainable change for your community right now, today. So I remember at a very early age of 9 years old, walking in my first march, my first rally with my great aunt, who was a member of the NAACP. We marched to take down the Confederate flag. And eventually, thank God, it's down. So I remember that feeling of being empowered, surrounded by a collective body who researched, who rallied and lobbied to make change. And I want you to also get involved with that right now when you're in 9th through 12th grade. So first of all, there are 2 organizations that I would definitely highly recommend you learn about. The first one is called Generation Nation. The website is generationnation.org. It's just a group that deals with helping students learn about how the government and communities work. You will understand about building leadership skills as well as civic literacy at an early age. New Generation is an active organization that helps build informed citizens and leaders with our youth. Some of the things that they also offer is programs such as Charlotte-Mecklenburg Youth Council, Youth-Led Charlotte-Mecklenburg, I Voted, Student Elections, Youth Charlotte-Mecklenburg 101. Please go to that website and learn about the opportunities they have to help students with real-life experiences for college, career, and civic life. The other organization I want to tell you about is called Our Turn. The website is www.itsourturn.org. This is an organization that truly lifts up students' voices. You will learn how to be active in the dialogue, debates, and decision-making around issues that affect you right now while you're in high school. Many issues that you have been silenced or ignored on. So I would definitely tell you, please get involved with Our Turn. I have seen them myself at school board meetings, county commissioners meetings, lifting up concerns for them as high school students, and they were very concise, clear, and they were on point. So I would definitely advise you right now at the age of 14 to 17 to become civically engaged. Do not wait till it's time for you to vote, because by that time it's too late. Become involved now. Lift up your concerns and your voices, because you matter.
first. You know, back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now, none of them 3 people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station try to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't never even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though.
So, you know, to me, what Juneteenth really signifies is an opportunity for us to celebrate how far we have come. You know, the African American community is a very resilient community. You know, we endured 400 years of chattel slavery, you know, unlike any that has ever been in existence. And we were able to not just bounce back from that, but we're able to show that we were, you know, in our humanity, that we are creative, that we are gifted, that we are talented, that we are intelligent. We are just a beautiful arraignment of people that has contributed to the culture of America and really throughout the world. And this is our opportunity to shine. This is our Freedom Day. This is our Independence Day. This is our chance to show the world that we are here.